H12893_V1.0 HCIP Data Center Network V1.0 exam is one required test for earning HCIP Data Center Network certification. In this video, we provide the latest H12893_V1.0 exam guides for you to study. The H12893_V1.0 exam is a written examination featuring various question formats, including single answer, multiple answer, true or false, short response items, and drag and drop items. Candidates have 90 minutes to complete the exam, with a passing score of 600 out of 1,000. The exam is conducted in English and costs $180. The 2V0-11.25 exam objectives encompass various critical aspects of VMware by Broadcom solutions. Candidates are expected to demonstrate knowledge of IT architectures, technologies, and standards, ensuring a strong foundation in virtualization concepts. The 2V0-11.25 exam also covers an in-depth understanding of VMware by Broadcom solutions, including their features and capabilities. Additionally, it evaluates the ability to plan and design these solutions to meet specific business requirements. Practical skills in installation, configuration, and administration are essential, as well as proficiency in troubleshooting and optimizing the environment to ensure peak performance and reliability. To effectively prepare for the 2V0-11.25 exam, start by thoroughly understanding its overview, including the key topics and structure. Next, focus on mastering the exam objectives to ensure comprehensive knowledge of the required concepts. Engaging with related forums or communities can be beneficial, as they provide insights, study resources, and discussions with other candidates. Lastly, practicing exam questions is crucial for reinforcing your understanding and improving your ability to tackle real exam scenarios confidently. An administrator needs to ensure that their VMware Cloud Foundation-based private cloud solution can support multi-tenancy for different departments within their organization. What two configurations and components are necessary to achieve this? Choose two. A. Configure vSAN storage policies for each department. B. Use vSphere resource pools to allocate resources to different departments. C. Deploy ARIA automation to enable self-service provisioning for tenants. D. Use NSX to create isolated network segments for each tenant. The correct answer is B. D. vSphere resource pools allow for the allocation of CPU, memory, and storage resources to different departments, tenants, within the VMware Cloud Foundation environment. This ensures that each department has its own dedicated resources, preventing resource contention between them. NSX can be used to create isolated network segments, logical networks, for each tenant, ensuring network security and segmentation between departments. Each department can have its own isolated network environment. Which is the appropriate first action to take to resolve dropped network packets on an SG host? A. Check physical network switch configuration. B. Enable storage I/O control. C. Increase the CPU and memory allocation for VMs. D. Migrate VMs to another data store. The correct answer is A. Dropped network packets are often caused by misconfigurations or issues at the physical network layer. Checking the physical network switch configuration is the first step to ensure that the network settings, such as VLANs, uplinks, and port configurations, are correctly set up. This ensures proper connectivity and traffic flow for the SC host and the VMs. An administrator needs to deploy a Kubernetes cluster on a vSphere IaaS control plane, formerly vSphere with Tanzu, to host a new application. Which 3 steps should be followed to successfully deploy the Kubernetes cluster? Choose 3. A. Configure a load balancer for the Kubernetes control plane nodes. B. Create a new VM template for the Kubernetes nodes. C. Configure a vSphere namespace and assign resource quotas. D. Enable workload management on the vSphere cluster. E. Deploy a vSphere pod service. The correct answer is A, C, D. A load balancer is needed for the Kubernetes control plane nodes to distribute traffic across the control plane and ensure high availability for the Kubernetes management layer. A vSphere namespace must be configured to define a logical boundary for Kubernetes workloads, and resource quotas help ensure that resources are allocated appropriately for the workloads. Enabling workload management on the vSphere cluster is necessary to integrate Kubernetes with vSphere and manage the lifecycle of Kubernetes clusters using vSphere with Tanzu. An IT team needs to ensure compliance and security for various database workloads managed by Data Services Manager. Which 3 features of Data Services Manager should be leveraged to achieve this? Choose 3. A. Automated patch management for database instances. B. Integration with NSX for network security policies. C. Encryption of data at rest and in transit. D. Role-based access control, RBAC, to restrict database access. E. vSphere DRS for resource scheduling. The correct answer is A, C, D. Automated patch management ensures that database instances are kept up to date with the latest patches, which is essential for maintaining compliance and security. Encryption of data at rest and in transit helps protect sensitive database data from unauthorized access and tampering, ensuring compliance with security standards. Role-based access control, RBAC, restricts database access based on user roles, ensuring that only authorized users have access to sensitive data, which is crucial for compliance and security. What is the first step to take when updating the vSAN database in a VMware Cloud Foundation environment? A. Place the vSAN cluster in maintenance mode. B. Download the latest HCL database from VMware. C. Check the VMware compatibility guide for supported versions. D. Backup the vSAN database. The correct answer is D. The first step when updating the vSAN database, or performing any update to the vSAN environment, is to back up the vSAN database. This ensures that if any issues arise during the update process, the administrator can restore the environment to a previous state. This step is crucial to ensure data protection and prevent data loss. An administrator logged into NSX Manager to view host details. The administrator noticed that the tunnel status for the SC hosts in the vWorkload domain is showing down. What is a possible reason the SC host tunnels are showing down in NSX? A. The IGMP has been disabled on the network. B. The MTU setting for the host TEPs has been set to 1500. C. The host TEP IP addresses are being dynamically assigned through DHCP instead of being statically assigned. D. The overlay traffic is being blocked by the gateway firewall. The correct answer is B. The tunnel status in NSX indicates the status of the VXLAN tunnels used for communication between SG hosts. If the MTU setting for the host tunnel endpoint, TEP, is incorrectly set to 1500, this can cause issues with VXLAN encapsulation, as VXLAN packets typically require an MTU of at least 1600 bytes to function correctly. Setting the MTU too low can cause packet drops and result in the tunnel status being down. An administrator is responsible for monitoring the logs of multiple vSphere components using VMware ARIA operations for logs. They notice an increase in error logs for a specific SG host. Which two steps should be taken to pinpoint the issue? Choose 2. A. Restart the SG host to resolve the issue immediately. B. Filter the LUs by the SG host name and error severity. C. Correlate the error logs with recent configuration changes on the SG host. D. Check for patterns or repeated error messages over a specific time frame. E. Delete all old logs to free up space and generate new logs. The correct answer is B. D. Filtering the logs by the SG host name and error severity helps narrow down the logs to those relevant to the specific host and allows for easier identification of significant errors. Checking for patterns or repeated error messages over a specific time frame helps identify the root cause of the issue and determine if the errors are linked to a specific event or condition. What is the primary purpose of configuring role-based access control, RBAC, in vCenter? A. To ensure vCenter runs on multiple operating systems. B. To provide a method for vCenter to communicate with SG hosts. C. To manage user access and permissions within the vCenter environment. D. To enable vCenter integration with external storage systems. The correct answer is C. Role-based access control, RBAC, in vCenter is used to define and manage user roles and permissions. It allows administrators to control who can access specific resources and perform actions within the vCenter environment. RBAC ensures that users only have access to the areas and tasks they are authorized to interact with, enhancing security and management. What are the steps to apply software updates in a VMware Cloud Foundation deployment using the VMware Async Patch CLI tool? A. Upload the patch bundle to SDDC Manager, download the confirmation, and then apply the patch. B. Apply the patch directly in the VMware SDDC Manager UI from the Software Depot. C. Download the patch bundle, upload the bundle to SDDC Manager, and then apply the patch. D. Download the patch bundle, apply the patch directly, and then upload the confirmation to SDDC Manager. The correct answer is C. To apply software updates in a VMware Cloud Foundation deployment using the VMware Async Patch CLI tool, the process involves downloading the patch bundle, uploading it to SDDC Manager, and then using the appropriate commands or tools to apply the patch. This ensures that the patch is properly staged in the environment and applied to the necessary components. A VMware Cloud Foundation administrator notices that the SDDC Manager dashboard shows an alert indicating that one of the SC hosts in their workload domain is in a not responding state. What is the first troubleshooting step that should be performed to resolve this issue? A. Remove and re-add the SC host to the workload domain. B. Upgrade the SC host to the latest version. C. Check the network connectivity between the SC host and the SDDC manager. D. Reboot the SC host from the SDDC manager interface. The correct answer is C. When an SC host is in a not responding state in VMware Cloud Foundation, the first step in troubleshooting is to check the network connectivity between the SC host and the SDDC manager. Network issues, e.g., misconfigured VLANs, firewall settings, or network outages, are often the primary cause of communication problems between SDDC manager and the SC host.